Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Doujinshi, and welcome back to another episode of Hentai Reviews, the only series where we are reviewing more anime than we are hentai at the moment. And I can explain, this shit is good. No further anything necessary. Because, let's get into this immediately. This is episode fucking 3. This is the good episode where it gets started. This is the good shit. So, today we're going to be talking about episode 3 of Interspecies Reviewers, a series that really has made a name for itself as that series that, like, this was probably the first big anime to be just straight up considered a hentai. I know Redo of a Healer came out afterwards, but this is where it drew the line and said, we're gonna show off. And we're gonna show off good. So, what can I say about this? Well, normally I can say a lot of good stuff, but let's just get straight the fuck into it. Since this is the 3rd episode in a series that's going to be lasting well over 10 episodes, we're going to go ahead and skip over that. Over the rest of it, we all know it's done by ℌ𝔢𝔫𝔸. We all know it runs at anime full length. And we all know that it runs with similar tags each time. A lot of monster girls, a lot of shenanigans, a lot of jobs. This is a workforce if I ever seen one. So let's go ahead and get into it. You see, the entirety of the episode itself starts off with the basic things that it always starts off with. The introduction to the world, where they say how suck-you things work and across the board and how they all have their own lineages. And then they go into the opening, which, you know what? If we hit 250 subscribers, I will sing the entire thing. And yes, I mean the entire thing. All in Japanese, because I'm not going to take the easy way out, and all in one shot, because I have that much confidence, because I love listening to this thing. It is just awesome. If I get to sing the words bust a nut, then I'll do it. I don't know if I do it with the mask on, though, because I might need to actually do the whole damn thing. So, smaller mask, maybe, at 250. Why 250? Because 200 seems like it could happen at, like, literally in a week, because we just get random spurts of subscribers, and sometimes it's a slow build. Everybody who's out there subscribing, I appreciate the hell out of you, and thank you for your patronage across this entire thing. This is seriously just a hobby that ended up going out of the fucking wilds, with probably more people than I've ever made friends with in my life now subscribe to watch me be a dipshit on camera. That being said, let's go ahead and get into the actual review. After going over the banger intro, it pretty much just goes into what you'd expect from this series. It usually starts out in the little pub that they're at, but it starts out with the B crew. You know, the crew that's usually talking by the time they get done with their reviews or the time they start their reviews. Who's just a whole bunch of, like, random fantasy elements, and the one virgin lizard dude who's awesome because he just keeps showing up and he keeps being a dipshit and saying stuff that you wouldn't expect to be deep, but he knows what he's talking about. He's the definition of coaches don't play, and I love him. They kind of get into this little argument where they say, hey, it's better to make sure that your partner is also having fun in the entire thing, which is something that people should actually take into the real world, because if both of you aren't having fun, then there's not really much of a point. You're probably not going to get laid a lot if you just think about yourself. Take that with you, because this anime just said so. That being said, they get on to the topic, and naturally, the group themselves, with the halfling dude alongside them. His name is Canchel, and I didn't know that until I actually had to read his name a few times, because I don't know why. He's just really small and snarky, but I keep forgetting his name. Them, minus Krim, because Krim is working around the area, they start getting onto the topic, like, how can you see it from your partner's perspective during this whole thing? Naturally, they're like, instead of asking the people we sleep with, we're gonna become the people we sleep with. which, gotta say, if your readily available magic can just do stuff like that, use it a lot more. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking too far ahead of myself. But their next thing is, I know a bar that can change our gender. And they're like, we'll try it, but I'm hesitant. It's a weird thing to be hesitant about. It's literally just a place that you show up, take a sip, and then you get boobs. That's fucking cool. I'm perfectly happy with what I am as of now. Everything beneath... I'm happy being just a pile of plague doctor in roughly the shape of a male human being. But if you could go somewhere and just be like, sip, and now you have 24 hours of being a different gender, I would hit that shit up on the regular. That sounds fun. So, they end up going there. They also drag Krim along because Krim walked by at a bad moment, and then they just decided, you know what? You make money from doing this as well. You want to go get paid? You want to go see what getting some dick feels like? Probably not us, because we're all super straight. Those close-minded bastards. So, they go to this place, they all take a big sip of stuff, and then they just decide, let's start checking each other out. Naturally, Stunk turns into the, average waifu sort of thing, but hot. The hair, the size of the boobs, the way everything contorts perfectly. It is art, and I love it. Zell, the elf. Normally, elves are flat-chested just to emphasize, how thin and feminine they are, and how easily they can move along because they're supposed to be magical creatures. Anime disregards this rule a shit ton. So naturally, Zell has the biggest fucking tits you've ever seen. Oh my god. Her back hurts so much at this moment. Kanchel, the little halfling dude with blue hair, sounds like... okay, first, not a lot changes. A little bit more feminine features around the jawline, and the hair does similar things. But Kanchel sounds like fucking Iron Mouse, and I love it. It just immediately like, that's what I sound like. And then just starts making all the noises, and I'm like, I know you're like doing your own thing, but you sound like fucking Iron Mouse, and I love it. Love it. The off chance any VTubers watch this, let everybody know Iron Mouse is adorable, and I love her. She's so fucking funny. That being said, they then go over to Krim. Krim, being an angel, has biology that is stranger than most, mostly because, I'm guessing, hermaphroditity? However the fuck that word is said. It's kind of common in angels, so they have both sets. He just happens to have an enormous dick as well. So, after changing, mostly just notice that something disappears. I don't know if Krim had boobs before, because the shirt's always covering it, and it also, outlines boobs, but it's never, fully shown. At least not that I can remember. It may in a later episode, but I'm gonna stick with my guns for this moment. But later on the show, yes, they do. They get rockin' boobs. So, they immediately go there, and they get the legal rundown after Krim tries to leave about, hey, you're not supposed to leave this place if your gender is still swapped from what it originally was, because, we don't want anybody going out there causing mayhem and havoc as essentially a flawless disguise. And you don't want to get anybody in trouble with, unintentional gay sex? I feel like that's a weird way of phrasing it, but I feel like that's the most accurate. So naturally, after being told, alright, we can't go, Krim starts looking through some of the male catalogs because they want to, accurately figure out what the other side usually feels of most of the sex. But everybody else gets their lesbian on immediately, and I can respect all of that. That sounds awesome. So, after doing their whole thing, they go through their catalogs, and naturally, let's see who all the girls come in. Stunk, being the man of culture and man of constant scheduling that he gets, as the first episode is the third episode, gets himself an elf waifu. Respect on respect, my dude. Zell gets him... Nope. Kanchel is second. he gets a halfling, because if you're going to be really small and you're going to be trying to, like, make other people happy, it's probably a good idea to go with something that at least has a size difference that isn't hard to do. 2 halflings together, not even going to notice a difference. And that is thinking ahead, and I can safely say that's a good idea. So, my man, Giga Chad himself gets the slime girl, and that's awesome. He gets the slime girl, big boobs, looks like the elf girl from last episode. That's even a bigger bonus. And then they get to it. Scene number one. Scene number one lasts from 16 minutes and 10 seconds to 18 minutes and 25 seconds, I believe. If I'm wrong, then I'll post the card like I have been doing before I list off the numbers so you can accurately get a representation of what it is. Then, after all this, suspiciously, Krim has not gotten his name, his specific one dropped yet. Because Krim's girl that shows up is in fact a girl. Kind of. So, he gets a hyena girl. The thing about hyena girls, though, is that the males have penile genitalia, but the women also do. And they're usually more well-endowed. Beautiful. Absolutely. 100% beautiful. And Krim probably gets the most genuine experience of what it's like to be a female on this whole thing. And I can't say any more than respect for that, because they're probably getting the best experience out of it. Nope, Zell's getting the best experience. He gets Slime Girl, and I'm not backing down from that one. I'm sticking with that one. Scene number 2 lasts from 19 minutes and 55 seconds to 21 minutes and 10 seconds. And you see, after the entirety of the whole thing that they go through, they then make their reviews and naturally post them back on the wall that they get paid to do so. After doing so, they all kind of look at Krim's and are thinking, why did he vote his so high? Alright, they read it and they start thinking, he took a dick and got that good of a review. They all slowly turn around, look at Krim, and then Krim not knowing what the hell's going on, they're like, what's going on, everybody? And then a rainbow appears behind him as they all just unanimously agree, like, he might be gay. Hey, and then the episode ends with the banger outro. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This doesn't even get a score. This shit good. This shit is funny. This shit sexy. This shit is where it kicks off immediately. Like, this is where they full-on add scenes that people are watching it 100% for. No, this is where they jump the gun, and now the gun's on full auto, and they're just sending it every single chance they get. And this is amazing. I love the way that they've done this, because every episode past this point is just chef's kiss. It stays and stays good after this point. And fuck if I can't say anything good about it. So you see, that's where episode 3 ends. On a good note, a great note, a perfect note. And we're going to be getting into more even sooner. My next episode, given the fact that I said I was going to make this video yesterday, but then I ended up fucking up my schedule, my next video is going to be coming out a lot sooner than the rest of them. Hell, it might be tomorrow if I get my ass moving fast enough. But yeah, that's where we're going to end it for today. Thank you everybody for being here. It has been an absolute pleasure to be getting to this milestone along here. Episode 3 of Interspecies Viewers, probably one of the best ones. But I don't remember all that much about the rest of it, so we're going to have to continue down this path until we eventually get to it. So I guess, yeah. Just a reminder, I have a second channel that I'm not going to tell you the name of. I just wanted to remind you so you remember that you don't know which one it is. That being said, let's go ahead and end it up for today. Thank you everybody for being here. It's been an honor, and thank you everybody for sticking around to watch me be goofy and stupid and me. So, once again, thank you everybody for being here. I have been the Doctor, and remember, have a nice day, don't be a dick, there's too many of them, and wash your fucking hands. I've been the Doctor. Peace.